Hey, Roadrunners, welcome back to Medallion. It's an off week. It's a perfect chance to talk about our out-of-conference and give our team the first 33% of the year grades, right? Our out-of-conference grades, grading how we did out-of-conference. Now, full disclosure, I fully expected 1 and 3. You can hear me kind of talk about that. I fully expected. Don't be surprised. And when I say don't be surprised, and I say it multiple times, that 1 and 3, that the only one we get is against UIW, I'm kind of leaning that way. I didn't see enough last year to tell me that this team could be 3 and 1. But I did, however, see enough in the first half and the first 2.5 quarters against Texas A&M to say this team's got potential. This team does have potential. And I am being fully transparent here. I'm telling you what I'm feeling. I'm allowed to change my mind. I'm allowed to go with the flow, per se. And you should go with the flow when the team's underperforming. Those of y'all that said 10 and 2. So now you really think they're going to run the table in the AAC? Okay. Comment and tell me you are. Put your name on it. Put your name in social media that they're going to go 8 and 0 in conference play. I bet you won't. You'll complain, right? But I bet you won't. Now, with all that out of the way, I still see a 6 and 6, 7 and 5 team, but I'll explain later, right? The season's long. Teams change. Teams have issues. Teams aren't as good as you expect them to be. Teams aren't as bad as you expect them to be, right? Let's talk about our team. Let's talk about the offensive side of the ball, right? We're going to go kind of by position group, going to go kind of by scheme, that kind of stuff, right? Yada, yada, yada. So let's talk about our offensive line. That's where it starts. I'm giving them a solid B+. And let me tell you why I'm going to give them a B+. Without blitzes and kind of intricate packages to get to McCown, he's pretty clean most games. He's really pretty clean most games. Offensive line is playing pretty darn good. And I think we're going to find out that this offensive line is probably one of our best offensive lines we've had in school history. It's going to be overshadowed by a lot of things that don't really show that it's our best offensive line. But at the same time, they're doing things right. Robert Henry's making cutbacks. They're creating holes for Robert Henry. Nation's leading rusher through four games of football, right? Some teams are probably going to have played 5 by now, that running back that'll probably have passed him. But if you go on average per game that he's played, he's still the nation's leading rusher. And chances are, with the way we're doing this and how our offensive line's playing, you can bet that he has a solid chance of ending the season as the nation's leading rusher. Give him a B+. Straight up a B+. I'd give him an A. I really would, if we were able to throw the ball down the field a little bit better. Part of that is the way we're throwing the ball probably helps them look a little better, if that makes sense. Kind of masks what might be an issue for them if we're able to throw the ball down the field a little bit better. If we were be able to run the ball a little better with Henderson and Peterson, right? We kind of lose something with Henry, and I just think it's the threat. Nobody's threatened by Henderson and nobody's threatened by Peterson yet, if that makes sense. Now, they have decent stats. Henderson has decent stats. He's had a couple good games. Not great games, but, solid. Kind of stuff that you go, hey, you know what? He's a backup. He's literally doing 3.5 to maybe 4 yards a carry. Nothing extraordinary, but something that you can go, we're still moving forward when he carries the ball, right? So like I said, B+. Running game, I'm giving running game A. You got to. Our running game is A+. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that right now. I'm going to lump these two together, these three actually, together. I'm going to lump receivers, passing game, and QB together because they go hand in hand. And I mean, C-. I might be a little overreacting here. Part of it is the scheme. Part of it is there's guys down the field that were missing passes. Part of it is we don't have wide receivers able to get down the field like we're used to seeing, like we've seen in the past is what I'm saying. So C-, right? That's what I'm going with. I really think you remove our tight ends. If we don't have, Thomas and Overmeyer, I'm telling you, our passing game would look even worse. I'm being serious when I say that. Would look even worse. That's what I'm saying, C-. So when you put it all together, you can kind of say our offense is a C+ mid. When you put it all together, look at our stats. If we were able to, with Robert Henry's running, to be able to get 250 yards passing a game, we'd be a different team. We'd be 3-1 at least. At least 3-1. I'm being serious there. It's not terrible. It's frustrating. Does it make sense what I'm saying? It's just frustrating to watch all those swing passes, screen passes. Now, they're effective, but there's times they're not. They put us behind the chains, right? One thing I will say, we get a QB. Now, Owen's done it a time or two, so hear me out. He just doesn't do it enough. We get a QB that's willing to step back, and his read, he sees those guys come back, or he sees a guy rushing from the left side, and he just steps up and goes and gets like 3 yards and dives forward, wide open. He doesn't have to slide, but dive forward, get past the line of scrimmage, dive forward to where the slide doesn't put, because they really misjudge many times where the slide actually starts. And I've seen them go like, they put it 2 yards back from where he started his slide, Because no one on AstroTurf slides 7 yards. Hell, no one in baseball slides 7 yards. And those guys are flat out, no one's stopping them, and they're going head first. Think about what I'm saying. And you'll see it. And it's like, oh, come on, man. Right? So if he picks up that part of his game, I am telling you, just get 4 yards and go down and frustrate those linebackers. It'll force linebackers, instead of being able to drop back in coverage, they will step up in coverage. All of a sudden, all those passing lanes start opening. Especially with his shoulder fake. There's times he does that shoulder fake and they bite on it. We have it connected. He's got to give. I'm hard on Owen. I'll admit it. But give him his credit. When he pump fakes, they bite on it. They straight up bite on it. He's got a great pump fake. Not as good as Steve Young's pump fake. I'm kind of aging myself, but there are times where Steve Young run around with the ball over his head, even past the line of scrimmage, and he just do like that. And you see defensive backs like he's going to throw it because they forget where they're at on the field. He's pump faking 10 yards past the line of scrimmage. And defensive players are falling for it, right? It's a tool, and he uses that great. I ain't lying. And a lot of times, we get those swing passes set up. He pump fakes over the middle to somebody with that, and he goes out there and hits him on a swing pass or wheel route is when it's really effective. I got to give him his kudos. I'm honest, right? I'm as hard on him as I am as honest on him. What was that last game of the year? Was that Temple last game of the year? Where our defense just dominated Temple. And then all of a sudden they found their way back in the game, kind of, right? Last game of the year, at home anyway. And he broke off that run, and then he had Carpenter that did that block, took two guys out. That's the kind of thing that he doesn't necessarily have to break an 80-yard run, but just go around the side. And then if you see guys there, it's okay. Dive down. Live to fight another day, right? Your teammates will rally to you doing that. They will rally to you because there'll be time they go, you could have kept running. I had the block there. But stay safe because we need you to get the ball down the field for us, right? We need you as our signal caller. Now let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. So this is dichotomous. Is that a word? Dichotomous? As the opposite side of the ball. And I'm not kidding. Not a single one of you can say our front five, our front six are substandard. There are times where one guy, and they figured out one guy is a wrecking crew every game. One guy. That is coaching. That is understanding your assignments. And that is being able to work together as a team. That's a cohesive unit if I've ever seen it. Right? One guy's willing to be the star this week, then next week just be a supporting cast. You got to give Coach Sadiq his flowers. And you do have to give our defensive coordinator his flowers for this. Yes, we've had breakdowns in the secondary, but let's not act like our defensive coordinator is somehow not pretty good at his job, because he is. He is. This is the new era of football to where teams are going to score points. Teams are going to score points. Holding teams to 10 points, you're just better than, or they turn the ball over 8 times, right? Our defense is getting turnovers. Is our offense doing anything really great with it? Not usually. So they come right back out. Our defense could look better with a lot of changes to our offensive scheme to where when they go out there, don't go out there and throw incomplete, and run fast. Take your time. Keep them on the sidelines for 3 minutes, not a minute and a half. Not a minute, because think about what I'm saying here. We get a change of possession. There's no timeout. There's no TV timeout, right? We change a position. You go out there. By the time they get to the bench, you've already probably run 2 plays. Now they're going to get right back up off the bench. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. That could help our defense a long way, right? But let's give our front five their flowers. Yes, I saw some breakdowns where their defensive, they're so the thing is, they do this, and you can see it. They're so coached to worry about that quarterback and that running back that sometimes they don't see that wide receiver cutting it short and running underneath. And they get those big 12-yard passes, for a first down. And it just kills me when they do that. But that's part of why our front five is really so effective. Because they are watching that QB from sneaking out because they know there's going to be a twist, a stunt, a spin, something like that, right? And they don't want to give up that big run. So anyway, do that. Now for me, I'm looking at our secondary. And our secondary, so they get a B+, maybe even an A-. Well, their grade could get better. It could also get worse as the season goes on. I think on the offensive side of the ball, we are who we are for the rest of the season. That's what I think. Defensive side of the ball, they could get worse. Some injuries, a lack of motivation, that kind of stuff, right? But let's talk about our secondary, our back five, right? Because if you look, we tend to play a lot of nickel package style defense, and they're just not gelled the same as our front five is, right? They're just not gelled. And when you look at game film and you look at replays, you can see that they're not as gelled. They have played some really good. Excuse me, I got distracted. My windows are down. I just saw a car just like cut in front of a FedEx truck, not unwilling to wait to turn a street in the neighborhood. Yeah, Houston drivers, what are you gonna do? Anyway, you can see it because they're at their spot, but I talked about that last time. They're not reacting to their assignment. They're at their assignment. My boss told me, be here at 8, leave at 5, no matter what. So they're doing it. Right? Think about what I'm saying. They're doing it. That's what I'm talking about. It's not a bad attitude. It's just they're coached like that because they're still trying to understand. They're still trying to grab that as a totally new defense, right? So I'm going to have to give them a C- because of that. They've played good, but they're maybe a D+. They're borderline. I'm not kidding. Because there's some times where if they were there in coverage, I'm telling you, that last touchdown by Texas State, it was a good play by Texas State, but that last touchdown by Texas State against us, that should have been covered. That absolutely should have been covered, and that would have been, could have won us the game. Could have, right? Now, they played much better against Colorado State, but part of Colorado State being easier to play is they didn't have those speedy wide receivers, right? And I think we're masking maybe a lack of speed by the defense we're playing in the back half of our defense, which, I mean, it's okay. It happens, right? We are who we are. We got the job. The goal is to win games. So defensively, totally, they're a C. We're that behind the ball, 8-ball, pass coverage. Maybe we can get there. Maybe we can get there. I'm not holding out hope unless somebody rises. I'm just not holding out hope because we would have already seen it. Every year we've seen it when somebody has come on strong in the secondary for us, right? This year we're not having that. And that's okay. If they gel together and they bring their up from a D+ to maybe a solid C to a C+, we could possibly win 4 conference games. And then be 6-6. No losing seasons, right? Maybe we be 7-5. I'll take that. I will take a winning season for our program. If you were to tell me, would you rather us have a 12-0 surrounded by a bunch of 5-7s? Give me a decade. Take a decade. Ask yourself this question. Would you rather be 7-5 close-in games or have that one magical season of 12-0, losing our bowl game, or have a bunch of 7-5s, a bunch of bowl wins? I'm taking the 7-5s. Because then you know you have potential. When you got that 12-win season, there's a part of you that's going to say, that was luck. It was magical, but it was luck, right? But let's look at our 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. Yeah, we had the 11-0, 12-2 season, right? And then we backed it up with an 8-5 season, but came back 8-4, went undefeated in conference, which was great, right? Which to you, that first season was magical, but which to you do you think you got more satisfaction? For me, my satisfaction was the winning our conference and beating everybody in conference and winning the conference championship. It was going undefeated in conference and winning conference championship. So I guess we won 9. Would have won 9 games, right? 8 conference games plus the conference championship. 9 games, right? I'll take that in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Because there was no disappointment. There was no disappointment of just getting steamrolled in North Texas, right? In Denton. That being that close, right? That's my point. That's where I'm at. Take one thing, Roadrunners, from any of my videos. I don't hate our program. I don't hate our players. I don't hate our coaches. I get frustrated as hell. Don't get me wrong. Who doesn't? It's college football. That's the point of it. Why do you think fans storm the field? That's a release of frustration. That is a release of frustration. Plain and simple. I personally don't believe in storming the field. Would never storm the field. It's fun to celebrate. But if you do, leave the other players alone, right? I'm okay with it. Just leave the other players alone. Go to your players, pick them up, put them on your shoulders, make them feel kings of the world after 3.5 hours of just getting, beat about the head by the other team, getting knocked down, picking themselves back up, and getting that victory. Go put your quarterback on your shoulders. Go try to pick up an offensive lineman with 5 of you and have a blast doing it, man. The offensive lineman probably laugh his ass off having it done, especially if you do it, right? Be that kind of fan. Leave the other fans alone. Anyway, that's my rant about that. How do I think we've played? Overall, mid. 2-2, 2-2, 2 wins, 2 losses, mid. C. Our passing game has to improve if we want to get to the B level. If we get to the B level with our passing offense, I really think we could go 8-4. I'm seeing a path to where I'm watching some of these games to where right now I feel good about 4 wins in conference. I really do. I wasn't feeling so good about 4 wins in conference. But right now, if we slightly improve, I see 4 wins in conference. Anyway, Roadrunners, peace out. Birds up. Let's enjoy this weekend of no stress, nothing like that. Enjoy some, what is that, Big Red barbacoa? I love me some Big Red, but that was a new one to me, using it to marinate barbacoa. But that actually sounds pretty good because I know I marinate brisket in Dr. Pepper. And that's pretty legit. I took the Coca-Cola recipe and changed it to Dr. Pepper recipe with the chili sauce and all that other stuff that you put in there. And ooh, sweet. It's sweet and tangy. And it's little bit of spice. Just a little bit. Peace out. Birds up. FAFO.